notification. And tonight's class is the really restorative one. So we're going to be doing some gentle movement, some restorative breath work. And then for the second half, I think around 20 minutes, 25 minutes. Oh, you've got a dog too. Hello. We are going to be doing Yoga Nidra, which is lying down on traditionally on the back. Some people do like to lie on the side for various reasons. So you might want to bring a bunch of pillows because once we get to the lying down on the back bit, it can be really nice to stack pillows under the knees. But for now, we are going to start in seated. So you might want to bring pillows to sit on if you struggle to sit cross-legged on the floor. Always the option to sit on a chair or the edge of a sofa as well. And you can start by rocking forwards and backwards a few times. So you're sort of getting awareness of where you are in space when you're slightly off your center. You might take those rocks side to side as well. You could even look around your room and take in your surroundings. You might be used to your room and it's very familiar, but is there anything that you can start to pay attention to? Maybe a color on the rug, maybe something in your line of vision if you gaze ahead. And then eventually settle into some kind of stillness. So you're lifting tall through crown of the head, letting the shoulders sink down the back, and feeling a sense of sitting into the bowl of your pelvis. With every inhale, you might feel like you're growing out of the waist. And with every exhale, you might pay attention to the seat bones rooting down. So there's a sense of lightness and lift through the top of the head. And there's a sense of grounding and perhaps heaviness through the parts of the body that are touching your support, through the base of the body. So class today is going to be restorative. We'll do gentle movements, some calming breathing exercises, and then a guided relaxation at the end. Well, halfway through, it'll take us through till the end. But take a moment as we begin here to really notice the contact that the body is making with your support. So whether that's a chair, a sofa, a bed, or the ground beneath. Notice each part of the body that is touching its support. Can you feel the pelvis supported? And can you notice there is contact coming up from the ground, giving you a sense of where you are in space? As you notice and observe, you might become aware of how the body's feeling. So you might notice little pockets of tension. You might also notice parts of the body that feel relaxed and soft. Maybe there's a softness in the palms of the hands, but a feeling of something tense in the shoulders, it could be. You might even notice like sense of gripping in the body. And those types of guarding patterns might be found in the jaw. So could you release the jaw a little bit? In the shoulders, sometimes in the hips or the waist. And begin to notice how you're breathing. So no need to change your breath in any way, but notice the inhale coming in. See where it goes. And then notice the breath leave again on the exhale. So observing an effortless breath without control. Where does the breath go on your inhale? And where does it leave from on your exhale? Yeah, start to make some circles. You can close the eyes or keep them open, whatever feels more comfortable. These could be quite slow circles. They might be big, they might be small. And notice what you can sense physically here in the body. There might be different feelings bubbling up, maybe in the hips, in the low back, or it can be different experience for everyone. So what is it that you notice as you take these circles round? We'll go in the other direction now. So you can keep with the slow movement. You might want to experiment with this one, making the head quite heavy. Maybe there's a slight rounding in the back as you come forwards, the head drops. If that doesn't feel all right for your neck, then you can keep the head sort of more upright as you take these circles. You'll then start to make the circles smaller and smaller, so you're spiraling inwards until eventually you find that place where you're sitting into the bowl of the pelvis, lifting up tall through crown of the head. From there, we'll take some seated cat-cows. So hands can be on the knees. Inhale to roll the shoulders back, spread between the collarbones, maybe tilt the chin up, and then exhale, chin to chest, roll the shoulders forward, round the upper back a little bit. Inhale, chest reaches through, shoulders roll back. Exhale to round forward. And this can be the exact same thing from a chair, from the edge of the sofa. You still inhale to spread across between the collarbones and exhale to round forwards. Make this your last full inhale and exhale, doing the cat-cows. Then return to your long spine, so that sense of lifting tall through crown of the head. We'll roll the shoulders a few times, up, back and down. Again, going really slowly and gently. Then let the shoulders settle down the back. Let the chin drop to the chest. And very slowly ease the left ear towards the left shoulder. Roll the chin back down to the chest and roll the right ear over to the right shoulder. And you can continue to do this. If like yawning comes or anything, then always feel free to yawn. You can keep with the half moon shapes, or you might want to take it into circles. Going really easy with the neck. A slow, gentle movement. And then we're going to do a few side stretches. So again, this can be done from chair, from edge of the sofa, or from seated. We'll first take the right hand a little bit away from the body. If you are in a chair, you can hold on to the chair. If you're on the floor, you can take the hand over to the side, sofa over to the side as well. We'll scoop the left arm up. We're going to breathe in, so we're finding length in both sides of the torso, and then breathe out to find a side bend. And you might crawl that hand on the floor out a little bit further if you need more space, or you can keep it where it is. And there's a sense here of the back of the shoulder blade wrapping towards the armpits, so wrapping around the rib cage. Side stretching poses lengthen the muscles between the ribs and the pelvis, including parts of the lower back. We're opening the sides of the rib cage, which can improve ribcage mobility and the expansiveness of the lungs. So hopefully this will help us to really breathe fully in our breathing exercises that we're going to do. Inhale to reach up, bend at the elbows a little bit and spread the palms. And then exhale to circle the hands down, let them rest for a moment. And we'll go to the other side. So left hand about a handprint away, or holding onto the base of the chair. Inhale, reach the arm up. There's length in both sides of the torso. And exhale, that's when the side bend comes in. So there's a sense of, again, of the shoulder blade wrapping behind the back of the rib cage. Relax the jaw, soften the face. And feel that space opening up in the side. Notice how the inhale feels here with your side open like this. All that length. Then inhale, spread the palms, bend at the elbows a little bit. And exhale, you can have both the hands dropping down. Okay, this time we're going to do a little bit of a flow with the breath. We'll interlace the fingers, have the palms facing the belly, but there's a little bit of space between the palms and the belly. Let's inhale to move the hands up to the chest. And exhale, flip the palms away to push the palms forwards. Inhale to reach the arms all the way up. And then exhale, bring the hands down. Option to also lean forwards as you sort of squeeze the last bit of breath out. And then find your way back up. Interlace your fingers. We'll have the palms facing the belly again. Inhale to lift the palms to face the chest. Exhale, palms face away. We lengthen the arms. Inhale, reach the palms up, find length in the sides of the body, and then exhale, paint a big circle with the hands. You might even take them all the way forwards and gently squeeze the last of the exhale out as you drop the head and lean forwards. Inhale, gather the palms towards you and then up. Exhale, push the palms away. Inhale to reach up. Exhale, we spread the hands down. You can pause here or lean forwards and exhale to squeeze the last of the breath out. Do this 2 more times following your pace of breath. So inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. And this last one, you can follow your rhythm completely. Next time, we're going to actually inhale to come up to the chest. Exhale to push the palms out. Inhale, arms up, and this is where we'll take another side bend. So exhale over to the right, and let's take a few breaths here. So there's a sense of pushing the palms up and away and leaning over to the side slightly. And all the while, you've got a sense of rooting down through the base of the body. Nice. Let's inhale back to center. Find lots of length. And exhale, scoop up and over to the other side. Take a few breaths here. There's a sense of lightness and reach through the palms. A sense of heaviness and drop through the base of the body where it makes contact with its support. Inhale to reach up through the palms. And exhale, we'll spread the palms wide. We're going to do a few cat-cows on the mat in all fours, but by all means, if you're in bed or on the sofa or in a chair, you can do seated cat-cows again. If you're on your mat, we'll take the hands beneath the shoulders, the knees beneath the hips. And let's inhale to arc the belly down, chest faces forwards, gaze up. exhale, gaze down, nose, round the back, chin to chest softly. Inhale, there's a soft bend in the elbows as you post your chest through the arms. And exhale, there's a sense of rounding through the back, but we can keep it soft. We don't need to like push the floor really hard or anything. Inhale, arc the belly down. And exhale to round the back. And then whether you're doing this in seated or in tabletop on the mat, you can stick with your cat-cows following your pace of breath, or feel free to veer off into a bit of free movement here if you like. So that can look like more circles. You might even take it up into a downward facing dog if you feel like it, or drop back to a bit more of a child's pose. A little bit of free movement or holding a posture of your choice. Fab. And then to get into the side body a little bit more before we do our breath, this next round of movement is either in standing, or this can be done from seated as well. And you're going to take hold of it doesn't have to be elbows, some people won't reach the elbows, it could be wrists or hands, but we're making a sort of shape on top of the head. So whether you're holding your hands or your elbows or your wrists. And we'll have the feet a little bit wider than hips width apart and a slight bend in the knees. So inhale here to reach up tall through crown of the head. Exhale to lean over to the right. And then follow the exhale to drape down. You basically think about making circles here. You lean over to the left, so the right tip of the elbow is going to come up on the inhale. You end up in a bit of a side bend here. And then you exhale to follow a circle all the way around again. So it'll look and feel different to different bodies, but the general idea is that we're inhaling to follow a half circle up, getting a little bit of a side bend as we then exhale to drop and fold. The head can be heavy. If you're doing this from the chair, sofa, edge of bed, you might just find that your circles are a little bit less down than the ones standing. Your circles are a little bit smaller. There might be less of a drop, but you might do still quite a big drop. When you're ready, the next time you inhale to reach up, you will exhale the other way. So you're changing the direction of your circles. If the dropping the head down is not working for you, you can keep this as a lean side to side as well. That's another really good option. Fab. Next time that you come up, let's inhale to reach the arms up and exhale to circle them down. You might want to give everything a little bit of a shake. We're then going to come back to some kind of seated. So you might want to change it up and do a kneeling if you were cross-legged before. You might sit on the edge of the sofa, whatever you're working with. And let's take a moment to notice the breath again. So before we're changing it and doing anything deliberate to it, notice the coming and going of your breath. And what we're going to do next is work with extending the exhale. So first we're going to do this with a bit of movement, and then we'll do it with a slightly different technique involving humming, which dogs often get really interested in. So it'll be interesting to see how both of the dogs respond to the humming bee breath. But first, without the humming, I'll explain what I'm going to do is I'll inhale, count us up for 4. At the top, there'll be a reach up, and then I'm going to count us down from 6 as we slowly lower the arms. So this means that we're extending the exhale together. So take an inhale first, a big sigh out the mouth, and then all through the nose if you can. Let's inhale, arms up, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, arms down, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale up, 2, 3, 4. Exhale down, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale up, 2, 3, 4. Exhale down, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale up, 2, 3, 4. Exhale down, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Next, let the arms rest. But see if you can get that extended exhale even without counting. So there's an inhale, and then there's a long, steady, and slow exhale. Okay, next week I'm going to do the humming bee breath. So it's quite simple, can be actually really helpful to do for sleep and to help us activate that relaxation branch of the nervous system. And it does involve making a sound. So it's basically inhaling through the nose. And then with the exhale, you hum out on the exhale, and that hum can be as long as your exhale is. You don't need to do it like so long that you're gasping for your inhale afterwards. So do it to the point where it's comfortable to breathe out on a hum, and then you let the inhale come back in. So it might sound a little bit like this. And it sort of peters off on its own. The inhale washes back in, and then the hum gently makes its way out again for as long as it's comfortable till it naturally peters off. And then you inhale again. And count about 6 of these. At the end of your next exhale with the hum, have the breathing return to its natural way. Take a moment to notice if you do notice any effects of that humming bee breath. You might notice something, you might not. When you are ready, let's come to a straddle. This can be good up on cushions if you want to elevate the hips a little bit. So bringing the legs wide. The knees can be bent as well, or the legs long. It depends what helps you to feel like you can really sit up tall, which is where sometimes stacking pillows can come in handy, and sometimes bending the knees can come in handy. On a chair, this can be done with the feet wide, knees bent, so the feet are under the knees. And we're going to be doing a side bend here. So we'll take the right hand to the right thigh, maybe down to the shin. Inhale, reach the left arm up. And exhale, find your side bend. And if anyone is super bendy, then even if you can come like all the way down, we're gonna deliberately back off a little bit to come away from end range of movement. So you've got this lovely space opening up in the left side, but we're not collapsing over into the right. Fab. And from the seat, you would rest the forearm on the right thigh. Inhale, reach both arms up. You can have that softness in the elbows. And exhale will come to the other side. There's that sense of reaching up and over rather than collapsed at the side. Nice. Inhale, reach both arms up. Exhale, circle the hands down. Have the heels of the feet on the floor. The feet are a little bit closer together, but still slightly wider than hips width apart. The feet are flexed, so the toes are reaching towards your knees. And you're going to turn the feet out to the side and then in a little bit. So there's a little bit of mobility for the hips. And we're all going to have totally different ranges of movement here. So it might not look anything like mine. And you can use the hands as well, like the fingertips on the floor, to give yourself a little bit more stability if you want it to help you balance. Then when you're ready, reach the feet forwards, might be a bend in the knees. We'll inhale to find length in the spine, and then exhale to lift the chest up and over the legs. Maybe drop the head a little bit. Might want to straighten the legs out or keep the knees bent, see how it feels for you. And from a chair, could be a similar feeling, or you might want to stay sitting upright. Okay, so inhale to roll up. And we are going to do about 5 minutes of side breathing. This is a really restorative way to get relaxed and notice the breath. Pillows are definitely going to be our friend here. Going to lie on the left side and stack maybe a pillow under the head and quite a few cushions or pillows between the knees, so that when we're lying on our side, we've got like our pelvis sort of in line with our rib cage, sort of in line with our head. So head, rib cage, pelvis, and the knees are out in front with pillows stacked between the knees. Let the upper arm drape wherever it feels comfy for you. And same with the lower arm. I think you'll naturally find a way for that to drape in a place that feels as comfortable as possible for you. And let the side body that's touching the floor or the bed feel really heavy here. And start to notice the right side of the waist, so the side that's facing the ceiling. As you inhale, there's a sense of lift in that right side. And as you exhale, there's a sense of weightedness in the left side. So the bones are heavy, the left side of the body drops to the floor on the exhale. Inhale, notice expansion in the right side of the rib cage, the right side of the waist. Exhale, drop to the floor. And keep staying here, letting the left side be heavy. Feeling that gentle expansion of the side body with every breath in. And noticing a release with every breath out. muscles soften. And we really have time on our side for this restorative posture. So when there's a little bit more space to rest, the body can start to release pockets of tension, like it's unfurling tight knots. And you can imagine that the inhale and the movement of that inhale is like a massage for the tissues. Maybe you could imagine the exhale carries the tension out of the body. All the while, the head heavy. The jaw, relaxing any grip that might be there. So you could notice if you might be clenching the teeth or doing any sort of gripping in the jaw, and do release that if you notice it. You might even get a felt sense here of an extended exhale. So you've got that fullness of breath on the inhale, that expansion into the rib cage when you breathe in. And can you notice that exhale is long, steady, a slow, long exhale. You have a few moments longer to rest here. If you're really sinking into the stillness and appreciating the stillness, then you can skip the next cue and stay in your stillness. If you feel like a little bit fidgety or like you might want to experiment with some gentle movement, then as you breathe in, think about fanning the toes and fingers. So there's a gentle spread between the toes and the fingers on the inhale. And as you exhale, they relax and soften closer together again. Inhale, fan the fingers, the toes. Exhale, let them soften and relax closer together. Inhale to fan the toes and the fingers out. And exhale to relax them. In a moment, we are going to move on to our Yoga Nidra, which is traditionally done lying on the back, but it can also be done lying on your left side, so you could stay here. Some examples for that is for pregnancy, or it's just more comfortable than being on the back for some people. So if you're staying on your side, stay there. If you would like to come onto your back, then get yourself rolled over so you can move the pillows from between the knees, stack them under the legs instead. So pillows under the knees can be really supportive for the lower back in a Shavasana. You might want a little pillow under the head, but not one that's like too high, so we'll not make a massive stack of pillows for the head. We still want the head to be supported, but not hugely higher than the body. The arms can come out by the side if that's okay for you, with the palms facing up. And this is going to be very still, so do feel free to get a little bit of movement, last bits of movement out your system if you would like to, before we come into relax into this next part of the practice. So you might want to ease your head side to side if you're on your back. Maybe circle the feet and the hands a few times. And definitely set yourself up to be as comfortable as you possibly can be. So if there's something you can do to be even like 2% more comfortable, make sure you do that adjustment. And I'll introduce Yoga Nidra as well. It's also known as deep yogic sleep. It's really designed to elicit your body's relaxation response. So it's said to take you to a state in between waking and sleeping, where you can lie back and slip into a deep rest. It works with liminal space, which is the space in between changing states. So in this case, referring to that state between waking and sleeping. And these in-between states can be interesting ways to sow seeds of intention. Can be quite like a dream. Or you might notice that you're quite aware the whole time. Maybe you drift off into some sort of rest or sleep, so it can be different each time. And today's Yoga Nidra is inspired by the summer months. So summer can be quite a busy time. And this quieter, more introspective practice is really about giving you a moment of space. So it's a guided relaxation where you can draw the focus inwards and hopefully access some rest. Summer as a season is very fiery, warming, active, dynamic. So our guided relaxation, our Yoga Nidra today, will balance all of that out with a calm and quiet practice. All you need to do is let the sound of my voice wash over you, but don't even worry about trying to pay attention. If you drift off away from the words, that's completely fine. Begin by bringing awareness to the mouth. So you might even take a deliberate yawn if that's available to you, or maybe a swallow. Maybe you let the teeth part. Next, guide your awareness to the point between the eyebrows. So you could even take a deliberate frown here and notice tension across the brow before relaxing the forehead and allowing the whole forehead to soften, to release. Next, feel where the head makes contact with its support. And feel the whole weight of the head resting back, fully supported. So the neck doesn't need to work to hold up the head. The neck can relax and soften. Bring awareness to the right shoulder. To the tip of the right elbow. Bring awareness to the tip of the right thumb, the tip of the right pointer finger, tip of the right middle finger, tip of the right ring finger, and tip of the right little finger. Feel the right arm rest heavy, and feel the palm of the right hand soften. Next, bring your awareness to the left shoulder, to the tip of the left elbow, awareness to the tip of the left thumb, to the tip of the left pointer finger, tip of the left middle finger, tip of the left ring finger, and tip of the left little finger. Feel a heaviness spread across the left arm, so the left arm relaxes. The palm of the left hand is soft. Trace awareness to the right side of the waist, to the tip of the right hip bone, to the right knee, and all the way down to the tips of the right toes. Let the whole of the right leg be heavy, the sole of the right foot soft. Bring awareness to the left side of the waist, to the tip of the left hip bone, the left knee, all the way down to the tips of the left toes. Feel a heaviness in the left leg and softness in the sole of the left foot. Bring your whole body into awareness now, from the very top of your head all the way down to your toes. And now is the time to create your intention or your sankalpa. So with Yoga Nidra, this intention is something that we would really like to invite into our life. It might be a quality we want to cultivate. And we say it in the present tense. So an example is if you're especially tired, you might say your sankalpa, your intention, as my body is resting. Maybe if you feel uninspired, a little bit stagnant, you might say something like, I am open to new experiences. So you can choose one that I've said, my body is resting, or I am open to new experiences. Or it might be that something bubbles up for you that feels more personal to where you are right now. You'll then say this 3 times, this present tense sentence 3 times in your head. And then release that from your mind's focus. And as you rest here, begin to draw your awareness to noticing the breath. So no need to change the breath in any way, but notice how the breath comes in, where it goes, and notice it leave again. It might be that you feel an expansion in the belly, the rib cage, the chest as you inhale. It could be that the rib cage draws in, the belly drops, the chest drops with every exhale. Maybe you're even spreading that inhale up to the shoulders, to that space between the shoulder blades in the upper back. Perhaps there's a sense of the body getting a little heavier with each exhale. So the breath comes in on the inhale. And as you exhale, towards the end of the exhale, can you feel the weightedness of your body on its support? So there might be a lightness and a lift with the inhale, And then with the exhale comes that sense of support from the ground, from whatever's beneath you, whether that's through your side body or your back body. It's with the exhale that we most feel that gentle pull of gravity. Let your bones rest without any effort. With each exhale, feel the contact between your body and the support beneath. Start to notice the pause after your exhale. And when you feel the need for the inhale to naturally want to come in, like waves on a beach washing gently back and forth, let the breath come and go. The breath come and go. And maybe you notice a natural pause, a quietness between the exhale and the inhale. At the very end of that exhale, is there a still quiet moment just before the inhale washes in again? So the breath is effortless. And if you can, draw the breath down to the lower ribs and the belly, so you can feel that gentle expansion with the inhale. And the belly falls with the exhale. You can say to yourself in your mind, this is my body breathing in. This is my body breathing out. And now you have felt the body. You've felt the breath. Is there anything to feel underneath that? So it could be emotions washing around beneath the surface. It could be any kinds of physical sensations that you notice. And it's a gentle inquiry, a curiosity. If you're not sure what you feel or what you notice, then that's okay too. That's still noticing something. What is here in this space in between things? Observing the inner experience with no judgment. And next, begin to imagine a really warm summer's day. So imagine you can feel the heat and the warmth of the sun on your skin. Perhaps you can imagine the smell of flowers in full bloom, or other types of imagery or words that come to mind when you think of a summer's day, a warm summer's day. Maybe it's lying on the green grass or on the beach. Wherever it is, let a sense of peace and calm wash over you. A sense of having nowhere to go, nothing on your list of responsibilities, for a quiet moment. And I'm next going to list different images. So you'll either repeat the words internally after me, Or if you could see visual representations in your imagination, then imagine a picture of the words that I say. You could also get a feeling of what I'm describing via another sense, like touch or smell, whatever works for you. Imagine a green leafy tree. Raindrops in a puddle. A cloudless blue sky. Sunshine sparkling on turquoise sea. A bright yellow sunflower. Butterflies flying in a sunny forest. Bare feet on the warm ground. And maybe if one bubbles up, you might be able to conjure up a fond memory from a summer's day that makes you feel really safe. Maybe that even makes a smile spread. That could be a metaphorical smile as though you're smiling inside, or it could even be a twitch of the lips into a smile. A fond memory from a summer's day that makes you feel safe. Or that makes you smile. If nothing springs up, that's okay too. You can keep imagining summer type imagery, warmth. Then bring your focus eventually back to your intention, your sankalpa, the present tense sentence, if you remember it. And repeat it once more before allowing yourself to simply rest back here, soaking up a few final moments of relaxation. Begin to listen out for the sounds you can hear the farthest away from you. So maybe you can hear something outside the room that you're in. Then gently draw your focus to listen to the sounds you can hear the closest to you. So that might be the sound of my voice. Maybe there's other sounds in the room that you're in. And slowly, slowly become aware of the support beneath you. So the ground or the bed, the sofa, wherever you're practicing from. And notice all the points of contact between your body and its support. If you have cushions anywhere, notice the squishiness of the cushions, maybe in comparison to the sturdiness of the ground. And maybe you take a moment to really draw in a very deep, full inhale here. Perhaps even a sigh out the mouth on the exhale. And begin to very gently shift and stir. So that might start with a movement of the head side to side, super, super slow. Maybe the fingers begin to move a little bit, the toes. So it's a really gentle shifting out of this stillness. If you're already on your side, you can stay there. If you're on your back, you might like to take a full body stretch. Or maybe hug the knees in towards the chest, wrapping the arms around the shins and taking a little rock side to side. Eventually roll over to one side. And take a final moment of heaviness here on the side so you can really still be in that sleepy state if you did access it. And then keep the eyes closed or the focus of the gaze away from the screen, maybe just down the nose towards the floor as you prop yourself up slowly to seated. And we'll take our seated posture just to have a final moment with that inward focus. So you might take one hand to the belly, one hand to the chest, to where the heart space is. And this is a final little check-in. So notice how you're feeling. That could be anything. It could be a hunger in the belly, a tiredness, maybe something emotional. And when you are ready, bring the palms to touch, not the chin to the chest, the head to the hands. This can be a gesture of uniting the mind intelligence with the body intelligence. If it feels right for you, you might also thank yourself here for taking the time to join a restorative class, slowing down the pace and prioritizing relaxation. When you're ready, inhale to reach the palms up, blink the eyes open to gaze up to the sky. If you like, on the exhale, you might want to ground the hands down to feel the sturdiness of the ground beneath. And that signals the end of our practice, so thank you for joining. I'll just press stop on the recording for the people that aren't here live.